My name is Justin Turner, and this is my AI exploration project. I've chose to do the project over real estate, and here is my prompt for the assignment. I chose to do it over this because I feel like it is applicable to a bunch of people, especially my age, who are going into the world of real estate as first-time home buyers or as myself, maybe looking to invest in the industry. I found that there are a lot of applications of AI that are used in the field, some of them older, some of them newer. Some examples of traditional AI that are used in the field is some older ones, a CRM system. So, what this can do is help agents, like the ones that I interviewed, keep up with their prospects of who they might sell to and things like that. And it can help them match them with properties that might interest them. So they may put in that this person wants a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom house in this specified area at this price. And then the AI may flag this listing and match it with this person and automatically email this listing and say, hey, this might be something that you're looking for, which is a really good system. It can also be used for marketing in that aspect as they can kind of help automate messages that might be more applicable to certain people or and what they want to do. Like, for example, if I was working with a real estate agent, they might send me more marketing material for duplexes or triplexes or raw land or something like that rather than a starter home or something like that. But the most interesting that I found in traditional AI is pricing. So Zillow has this thing called a Zestimate. Redfin has a variation of it, and a lot of the major players in the game have some variation of it. And what it does is it can like estimate a price of your home or estimate a property value based on what they call the comps in the area. It's the similar listings that have sold and market trends. And I found that interesting because I just don't know how well received it is in the community. So I wanted to ask my interviewees about it because as an investor, I just don't know if I'm willing to trust AI at that level yet to say, to help guide me and say, this is a sound investment or this is a poor investment. Um, my agents that I interviewed were more geared towards the generative AI as they are both agents in the industry. So they said that they both use AI to help guide them in social media, kind of help them with that. And then in real estate, a lot of this work that they do is staging houses, creating listings, editing the photos, trying to connect these buyers to homes. And in order to do so, they need the homes to look as pleasant as possible, as appealing as possible to certain people. And they can use AI in this aspect to take a dresser out of a room uh, for a picture to stage the house how they want to, or they could, have a renovation property and then they can kind of maybe show off the prospect that it could be. They could show what it could look like if someone were to put money into it. They could do things like that. Um, Speaking of the agents that I interviewed Corbin Hodge. He's a agent in the Louisville area, so he does a lot of residential real estate and things like that in that area. And then I interviewed Ivana Yeager, who is local to the Grayson County area here where I'm at. They serve kind of different clientele and serve in different markets, so I thought that the diversity of interviewing them would prove insightful. Overall, I found that they do use a variety of tools between all of those. Both of them seem to agree for the most part that the use of AI can be overdone. And if you were to, overuse these listings that they do for you, or overuse it to do certain tasks, then it can be kind of off-putting to a customer in the industry. So what they do is that they'll use it as a tool, but they don't want to rely too much on it because overall they both feel as if real estate is a personable industry. And I agree with that it is sales and that it is their job to have charisma and that they need to be able to relate to humans, and AI will never be able to fill these gaps. Well, even with time, that it is a human industry and people oftentimes could sell their own house, or could close a deal, but they hire these people to do it because they do it well and they're able to use their connections and able to use their sales and negotiation skills and their expertise. And AI will never be able to fill these gaps in their opinion, but they have found that it is a useful tool, especially in situations where they do need to stage a room and maybe they can't come to that location. They can't divvy up that time right now to do all this editing themselves, or they don't want to pay somebody to do it. It can help them create maybe better worded listings from time to time. But they both told me that customers have came out to them and said that they feel like they can tell when AI has been used, and it's kind of off-putting as a buyer or seller. So overall, for this project, nothing really surprised me. I feel like that is the general consensus in a lot of industries. A lot of people are worried that AI could take their job completely. I feel like in most industries that it's going to be like this, and it's a valuable tool that people can use. But at the end of the day, it is a human industry, and people are going to limit the amount that it can be used in the industry. So my perspective on AI has not really changed. I feel like I will probably continue to use it. I like to use it for research often and things like that. But there's also applications that I just don't want to use it for. That I feel the same way as my interviewees and their customers. I think it looks bad. Like if I was to generate an email with it, I feel like people can tell, and it's less connective between me and the person that I'm trying to communicate with, and less personable. So that's what I'm going to continue to do, like they're doing, and like most people, is use it as a tool where it's applicable to me, and try to steer away from and relying too heavily on it because it could be detrimental to the industry and you personally.